Hey everybody. Today I'm going to answer one of the questions I am sure is on everyone's minds. What should I be doing with my finances? And given the current environment, that makes sense. But first, let's look back at how quickly things have changed for the worst. Just 8 weeks ago, stock markets were screaming to record highs. US unemployment was at a record low, and people were enjoying their normal day-to-day lives. Fast forward to today, and people are stuck at home. US markets have tanked, and unemployment is skyrocketing with weekly jobless claims totaling more than 16 million over 3 weeks, shattering previous weekly records as far back as 1982. The longer that businesses remain shuttered, the more likely that we will reach the scary numbers that some analysts predict for unemployment in this country, because many businesses, especially the smaller ones, cannot support their expenses without income. Some of you even may be at risk of losing your own job in the short term, or may have already lost your job due to current events. So, how do we prepare and how do we get through these times? I'm going to outline a few of my recommendations that will hopefully help many of you. The first step: save more and strengthen your emergency fund. Hopefully, you have already made it a priority to set money aside each month towards a rainy day fund in case of an unexpected life, employment, health, or other event that could occur where you may need extra money to support you and your family. Now could be one of those times when you need to dip into that fund if you become or if you have already become unemployed. If you find yourself unemployed, you can use this money from the fund to get through these difficult times. But please focus on saving as much as possible. Now is not the time to spend excessively. And don't even think about spending your stimulus check on those 10 pairs of Lululemon pants you've been eyeing or on that new car you've always wanted. Now is the time to save. You need to focus on saving as much as possible to do your best to ensure that you and your family have enough funds to get by for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately, that requires extreme cutbacks in discretionary spending categories and focused spending only on the essentials. Also, if you find yourself without a job throughout these events, contact your bank or financial institution where you have loans and ask them to let you postpone payments. Many of these institutions are letting their borrowers postpone payments during these difficult times for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, or sometimes even longer. The recent stimulus package passed by our legislature has many more programs to help tide over your finances as well, including the $1,200 stimulus checks that I mentioned earlier. Now, if you remain employed, increase your contribution to your emergency fund each paycheck by cutting back on your expenses. It is essential in times like these to have a financial cushion in cash so you can be prepared for the possibility that you could too lose your job if businesses remain shuttered for longer than expected. Preparing for the worst and hoping for the best is the strategy here. Now for step 2, invest. Now, if you have enough money in your emergency fund, at least 3 to 6 months of expenses, and ideally more than that. And if you have leftover funds that you will not need for at least 5 to 7 years, you can then invest those funds into the stock market. Currently, though, bonds don't yield enough to make them worth the investment. And with bond yields low, stocks and the businesses they represent are inherently worth more, making me confident that stocks will outperform bonds in the coming years. Step 3, invest in yourself. You may find that you have so much more free time while you are stuck at home, unless, of course, you have younger children running around who are now home all week instead of at school. If you do have more idle time than usual, though, spend that time investing in yourself by learning a new skill or starting a side hustle. Who knows? These endeavors could turn into a second income or even, in the future, a full-fledged business. The current economic and social environment proves just how valuable it is to own or be part of a business with an online presence. Many services like Shopify, Etsy, or Fiverr allow you to translate your skills or products into an online store or service. Maybe you can find a way to take an existing passion and develop it into a very successful online business. And lastly, step 4, help others. If you find yourself in a more fortunate set of circumstances financially, you should donate money or resources to organizations helping those whose finances or health are currently at risk because of the current environment. These times prove that coming together as a society, despite political differences, will ultimately save lives and help us get through these challenging times. I challenge each of you to find at least one way to help, whether it be through monetary donations, giving masks to medical workers, delivering food to the elderly, or donating blood. There are many ways that we all can have a meaningful impact in this crisis. We must all do our part to get through this together. Now, to recap, the key to riding through these times is to save as much as you can. If you find yourself without a job due to these recent events, please take advantage of the programs currently being offered by the government and our financial institutions. They are there to help. Limiting your discretionary spending and following these tips should help you get started along the right path. If you have any other thoughts on how we can ride out these times, please comment those below. I'd love to hear them. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more future content if you enjoyed this video. And please also drop a like as well. Until then, stay safe everyone, and I'll catch you in the next video.